ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Call Mom, our podcast. Today we have me, your host, Tom.
Sitting next to him is me, Sean Toohill. Tom is not the host, though. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Are we just need a host now? I'm James, and I don't approve this message.
Hi, I'm Ben, your real host.
And I'm Baz. I'm just here.
Aww.
Welcome to
As
Call
per
Mom.
always.
Glad you're here.
So, K-pop.
What?
Wow.
Alright, you know what?
Alright.
So please elaborate. Please elaborate. What about K-pop?
Tell us what K-pop is, and then we'll
Alright, K-pop.
establish our opinions.
The popular genre of music from Korea.
Popular, yes.
Because that's what pop stands for. But people are very into it. So, certain people are very into
Extremely.
it. What is the opinion of the group?
Okay, is anyone in this room into K-pop?
Nope.
No. Figured as much. Okay.
Ben, you didn't say no, Ben.
I can't say no because I despise it, and thinking about it makes my brain hurt.
Okay, so
Oh,
we've
wow.
got some strong feelings.
Alright.
I don't know.
So, does anybody have, in-depth sharing they want to do? I can start, and you can...
I have quite a bit of experience because I have a friend who's very into K-pop.
Oh, so do we, yeah.
And, it's kind of funny because he doesn't actually speak Korean. And I don't know if he really listens to it for the music, but he's very excited whenever a music video comes out, and he shows it to me, and I'm like, I don't see the point of this. And the videos are very high budget for not a big reason, but I guess it's popular.
I mean, there is pop in the name.
That's true.
Pop is short for pop.
Yeah. I mean, it's popular for a lot of people, and I've listened to some K-pop. Not for musical enjoyment per se, but for curiosity's sake. I can understand what some certain types of people like about it.
Really? Okay. All right.
Yeah. I mean, there's some good dancing.
Alright,
Sure,
I'm
dancing.
gonna be real. I feel like you're entitled to listen to whatever music you want. That's just how it is. In general, there's people who listen to, Spanish music, etc., French rap, that kind of thing.
Music.
Celtic music, stuff bangs, but K-pop it just fosters a very strange and kind of alien community that is not I personally do not want to ever associate myself with, so that completely turns me away from that kind of music, even if I originally like the music.
Why is that really bad for you to associate yourself?
I don't know. I just don't want to be in that whole ha 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 Stan gang.
No, see, I have a very...
BTS army.
See, I have a very similar opinion to Ben, actually. If people want to listen to K-pop, okay. If they enjoy that, if that's the type of music they enjoy, go for it. Everyone has their thing. It's the stans and the people on Twitter or Tumblr or wherever, the people who just go crazy about them and get defensive and attack and that type of thing. Those people are more annoying, and they're a little bit too far into it. And they're a little bit too extreme when it comes to their opinions and how far they'll go in order to try and, defend it as the best thing ever. And I think that turned me away as well.
Yeah.
I don't have a great much experience with it. I'm sure the music's fine. I don't listen to it. But again, I don't listen to it not because of the music. I don't listen to it because of the community. It's just not something I want to do with.
You don't like the whole idol culture thing where they're held up as gods.
Yeah, that's
I
kinda
tried
gross.
listening to a few, and I just could not stand them.
My
I
only
just
idol
didn't really like it. And
Bobby Shmurda.
No.
Bobby who?
Bobby Shmurda.
Bobby?
May his soul rest in peace until he's out of jail. Amen.
No, I think the thing with K-pop is a lot of music. There's music and the performance of the music, and the two are separable. So in American pop and jazz, a lot of the time it's you can listen to the music, or you can go to the music and performance. With K-pop, I think kind of the culture and the performance of it, the act of performing K-pop, is really a part of the music, and it's what a lot of people go to the music for, and so that it kind of makes it into a different sort of art form than just music as we know it. And I guess it's kind of tough to categorize it as typical music, because speaking as a musician, it's not particularly fascinating musically. There's not really a ton of complex harmony. I don't understand the lyrics, so I can't speak to those, but...
Yeah. It's a real issue.
Well, like, if you think about it, like, so a lot of people listen to K-pop because it's considered, like, new music, right? Like, it's very recently pioneered. But, like, nowadays, if you think about it, like, jazz is considered grandpa music, right? And rock is considered dad music, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but things from 2000s are now considered
Millennial
getting old.
Yeah.
Isn't
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
trippy?
I mean, it's 20 years ago.
But like, isn't that weird, man? Like, I personally, I fiend off the Gorillaz. Great band, check them out, love them dearly. I fiend off of them, and they released an album in 2005 called Demon Days, arguably one of the greatest things in the universe. And if you disagree with that, we can take this outside.
Cash me outside.
No, I will catch you outside, and then I will do mean things. Demon Days is great, but it was released 15 years ago. That means it's starting to age.
Yes,
Isn't that weird? What do you guys think about it?
Time.
Uh-huh.
Time.
Like, what are things that you hold dearly that are technically now starting to get old?
Well, see, here's...
First gen of Pokemon.
Oh, God. Pokemon. No.
Dude, consoles. Like, think about it. The Xbox.
Oh, the Xbox 360.
They stopped making the Xbox 360.
Oh.
That thing was a fucking monument to time. They produced it for 10 years, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
It started around the 2010s is when they started producing it, and it just kept going, right? That thing was
pretty much.
Oh my god, it was a monument to like.
It lasted too. If you like didn't do anything too crazy with it.
Guys,
I got mine secondhand. It lasted like 5 years.
And then you look at like the king of consoles, the PS2. That thing,
ancient.
that thing's a brick of plastic now compared to like all the other
It's
cool shit out.
And a lot of them still work.
And it's still like, but the thing is, it's still the most sold
Oh yeah.
the most sold platform console. My apologies. Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of aging, which, you know, it's kind of weird to say that, but
we're getting old.
I mean, we're at the point
Back
where
in the day.
things from our childhood were released before people were born.
Yeah.
I mean,
People are born in 2020.
Okay,
you
well,
imagine?
you take
is
what
a
I
thing.
mean.
Can
But
you-
there's coming to be a generation after us.
Is it weird that years, like, just in some years, like, you're gonna be looking at high schoolers, and they're just gonna be looking at you like, oh, that's an adult.
Yeah.
Is that weird? That
No, but, like,
you'll
do
be
you
considered
think-
like an adult, and like we're all just gonna be, you know.
Do you think we're gonna be looking at like modern youth culture eventually and be
Oh,
like,
God.
what the fuck are you guys
No,
doing?
I
this?"
already
I'm already
am starting
yeah,
to
no,
hate
like,
fuck are
it.
you
like
guys
I
doing?
already
It's
see
bad.
like all the new trends and I'm like, what's the point?
Things like TikTok. I don't enjoy TikTok, and that's not even
Nah.
too much younger.
Y'all ain't hip. Fortnite
Well, see,
dances,
that's
dab on
personal
them,
for
right?
me.
I'm not too late, guys, right? I'm not too late.
Well, I mean, that's the other aspect of culture is, I mean, the culture kind of changes and moves exponentially faster than it used to.
Yeah, because of the internet.
There's like this saying that like if you're not like progressive when you're young, you're cold-hearted, and if you're not conservative when you're old, you're stupid.
Man, I sure wish we could go back to the days of leeches on pustules and slaying witches.
Oh,
I sure miss those
I
times.
mean, also, heroin is a cure for illness. So.
Heroin.
Yeah.
Dude, you gotta take cocaine for the ghosts in your blood.
What's your blood type? Ghost.
Oh, you need some cocaine for that.
Cocaine is
But
a
yeah, I
universal
mean,
cure.
like, it's just like trippy to think about, man. Just
I just want to say on the topic of cocaine, I know we discussed this recently, but like I am still amazed that 90% of U.S. dollars has traces of cocaine on them.
Is that true?
Wait, what?
Yeah, remember I looked up a CNN article.
is this factual?
It was from CNN, so like
People in the comments are gonna rip into you.
I don't know
If
what
we
to
get
say.
a comment.
Look, okay, regardless of
Yeah.
the fact, whether it's 90% or whether it's 50%,
That's
Like-
still a lot.
I know it's still a massive amount of U.S. dollar bills have trace amounts of cocaine on them, and so the CNN article said $50 bills were most likely to have cocaine on them.
So like in those kid movies when the evil villains smelt money, like you know why?
yeah, because
Oh.
there was cocaine in the money.
Okay, but think about it. You're giving that, you know, let's say you've got, like, your kid and, you know, you're giving him a couple $dollars to go get ice cream. Well, odds are he's now just touched cocaine.
Yeah, that means
That's kind of
Okay, so if you smell enough dollar bills, can you get high?
probably
No.
How many dollar
No.
bills?
I
How
mean,
much
you
money
can
do I have
you
to
can get
get?
lightheaded.
How much do I have to accrue
Yeah.
to get a mild high from
Ima-
dollars?
How many U.S. dollar bills do you have to collect in order to get a gram of cocaine?
Probably.
I feel like quite a lot.
A
Yeah,
lot.
no, because trace amounts usually
Probably
means,
more than we
like-
would get in our life.
yeah, microscopic amounts.
If Jeff Bezos cashed out,
How
would he
much
have a grand
cocaine?
of cocaine?
How much cocaine would Jeff Bezos have? Well, not before he lost.
Yeah,
half of it.
before the divorce.
The thing is, so much cash is just in the drug trade now anyway. Like, that's what it's used
I don't
for
think
so often.
Most U.S. bills have been through the drug trade.
I mean,
Wow, that really revolutionized the next time I stop at Taco Bell and buy something with a dollar bill. Thanks, guys.
oh, I want Taco Bell.
It's just kind of interesting.
Oh,
you
God.
know? Like, I wonder, what has this dollar been through?
Next time you pay,
Is my dollar bill
Could be a
depressed?
lot of interesting stories.
Do you guys,
Yeah.
On the topic of where
Should
it's
I
been,
send a dollar
do you guys
rehab?
remember 22 Jump Street, the movie?
I think, yeah.
Yes.
Remember where they show the life of a bullet just to get shot into someone's nuts?
Is
I
that?
never saw that. Saw that.
No,
Oh,
I
ye-
don't recall.
Oh, I think I remember that.
I don't recall.
Was it in 22? It was in one of the Jump
I
Streets.
think
wasn't it?
I don't remember specifically what that was from, but I remember that part.
They
because
show the
I
life
thought it
of
was
a
very
bullet from
funny.
being casted and made, going through like Africa and into like drug trade, and then eventually only to be shot at someone's nuts.
Really?
I don't
Yeah.
I don't
recall.
remember that.
That's a very
That-
My apologies. It's a very niche like memory.
That's a
that I have.
metaphor for our lives, isn't it?
we all
22
get shot
Jump
in the
Street.
nuts.
The whole movie was a cliche,
Yeah,
I mean,
but that's kind of what
It's
it was
pretty
meant to
funny.
be.
I guess. That's true.
I remember on the end of the movie they started counting down like 23, 24, 25, and like,
Oh,
like
yeah.
Chef's
26,
School and
yeah.
all of them. It was crazy.
It was a good joke, because they were like, we could keep going,
Yeah.
but we won't.
it was a lot of frat vibes.
Oh yeah,
Ah,
oh yeah.
Speaking of frats are cults. So
sororities are cults.
are cults. Nothing against the people inside of them. Some of our closest friends are within those unfortunate cults. But think about it, right? They induct you into an organization where you have to act the same, possibly dress the same,
Oh, you
You
dress
know,
the same. You dress
live in the
Yeah,
same
you dress the
area.
same a lot.
And it's secret as well.
You get in,
can't
yeah,
tell
secret.
outside.
Yeah,
Get
you
a new
keep
family.
secrets.
You must be initiated into it. You must pledge an oath.
Be bullied.
There's an oath pledge process?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is that why they call them pledges in the beginning?
No, no.
Okay,
no,
you know what? I'm
not
sorry.
At all.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Not at all.
There's also though you have to like seek approval from the national organization.
Yeah.
You have to make sure they have to make sure you know it and you're not going to tell anybody.
All right, how about this? The entire frat system in America is actually the Illuminati.
I mean, it was started in 1776, apparently.
Really?
Yeah.
What? The Illuminati or the frats?
The frats.
Oh.
I don't know if the Illuminati was started in
Oh,
1776.
much
but, like,
before then.
Oh yeah. When
The
was
frats
when
started
were the
alongside
pyramids
of
built
me.
again?
Huh?
When were the pyramids built again?
3,500
Okay, got it.
BCE, Right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a
Thanks for
rhetorical
that.
question.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, okay. So right, founding of America, the first frat comes out.
It was
So
by,
George
it was
Washington
by Thomas
was a
Jeff. No, it was
frat.
by Thomas Jefferson.
Alright, so
George Washington was a frat boy, just playing, beer pong on the Declaration of Independence.
That's what all those
A
states
lot
were.
of them were probably drunk around the times of signing the Declaration of Independence, to be honest.
No, a lot of them were probably high on cocaine as well for the ghosts in their blood.
No.
And, getting leeches on their pustules.
And
That's why
that-
George
'cause
Washington. That's
Think
why-
about how
Cocaine
long
would
they
be
were
key.
in there as well.
Yeah.
Like, they were just in that building when it was hot as hell for hours on
Yeah.
end.
Well, I guess frats are
days.
important for liberty, Like, the French people pull out that liberté, fraternité, égalité.
I'm surprised you know that. Even though
Is that the correct
it is
pronunciation?
not.
How would you say it?
Okay, don't you know what?
No.
Just,
You can plead the
Don't
fifth.
make him do it.
Plead the fifth?
Yeah, you
Alright,
don't have to talk.
sure, I plead the fifth.
Okay.
I don't want to incriminate myself to being French.
That's
That
just
could
the
be
worst.
a real problem.
The worst of
You,
offenses.
you never know what could happen if everyone knows that.
Oh no.
No, but so we were talking about the link between brotherhoods and the Illuminati, but here's the one that we really have to look at: the Masonic Brotherhood.
Yes.
Right? It's in the
Definitely.
name. No, so I think that is kind of, it's the bridge
You
between...
mean the Freemasons, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just check.
It's like, it's the bridge between the world of kind of the fraternities people see and the secret societies behind them.
Okay,
right?
okay, but what the fuck is the Masons? Like, I have very little to no context
It's
about what they are.
quintessentially the Freemasons were a group of people claim founding fathers. I would say people who strongly supported democracy, which I believe started in America, and they essentially are considered like, I don't know, some sort of like black group behind the American government. They kind of like
The 1% of the
pull
1%
strings,
kind of
I
thing.
guess. I
Somewhat.
don't know.
They
something like that.
do actually predate America, and they
Oh.
do predate, and they somewhat predate traditional Western democracy. It's, I mean, so the Freemasons started in Europe with groups of actual Masons, like
Interesting, yeah.
stone workers.
That makes sense.
That makes a lot
Yeah,
of
that's,
sense.
and hence the
I would
name.
hope so.
But they are, I mean, essentially it's a society. They have some tenets, meetings, mostly talking nowadays, not a ton of action. But they're known for their kind of secret symbols. There's like
Yeah.
secret hand gestures, words, phrases, or symbols that can be drawn that will let other Masons know you are a Mason.
But what do they do?
Nowadays, not much.
Not a whole
No,
lot.
they just get together in secret meetings and talk about their next
Like,
secret meeting.
Ha! Look how secret we are.
they only,
No one knows about us.
yeah, they only whisper in
Oh, God.
meetings.
I wish I remembered. There was one president who attempted to find the cornerstone of the White House.
Oh yeah, you
And
dug
they
through the
attempted-
whole
yeah.
White House and never found
They
it.
no, they stopped digging in the middle of the process, and then filled it all back up.
They found
Nope.
they found Nixon's porn bunker. Or something.
Probably before Nixon. but-
Watergate V2.
the final splashing.
So they just stopped and were like, nope.
Yeah, no, they just stopped for some reason.
Wait, what were they looking for?
The cornerstone of the,
first,
White House.
It's the first stone they lay down the
Oh,
foundation.
oh.
Which
It
is
was-
traditionally marked in history.
Right. Okay.
And cool, you know. No, but people, so the Masons,
And
people
also
think
next
that they
to
do
Nixon's
secret
bunker.
things. People think they do secret things because they've got these secret symbols. And I won't tell you they don't, but I don't have any proof that they do.
Or wait, what if the search for the cornerstone was a lie in the first place? And they just wanted to put the concrete there in order to build something.
Yeah, or they just
A
wanted
porn
to.
bunker.
Exactly. What if it hadn't been built yet? And it was just a cover up, just to be like, oh yeah, this is what we're doing.
Exactly.
It's
Oh,
cool.
not a crook.
Well, no, I mean that is the far and away the most likely explanation. For
yeah,
that,
no, definitely.
is they wanted to build some secret thing.
Didn't find the cornerstone.
Oopsie.
Oops.
But I mean, realistically, when was the presidential bunker built? Because we know there is a high security bunker under the White House now. When was it built?
It can, yeah.
I mean, probably pretty early on.
Probably in the
Cold
Cold
War.
War. Yeah, when they
Yeah.
had nukes.
Yeah, I bet.
Don't
Actually,
they
I
have like
bet.
two bunkers, like one fake one that they tore people in, one real one?
Probably.
Yeah. I mean, there's two that we could theorize about.
All right,
Yeah.
dude.
Probably
Speaking
like
of bunkers, the concepts behind the Fallout vaults are kind of cool.
What was the concept?
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
for anybody who is a huge freaking nerd like me, or a lot of people who play video games, you probably have heard of the video game series called Fallout. There are several games in the Fallout series, notably Fallout 1, Fallout 2, Fallout 3, Fallout 4, and notoriously Fallout New Vegas.
You're forgetting
You're
about
forgetting
one.
one.
Oh.
So 1, 2,
Oh,
3, 4,
right.
New Vegas. What comes
Yeah.
next?
The one that didn't exist.
Fallout 0, my bad. The
76.
beta testing game that they had before Fallout 1.
There was
There's no other game than Fallout.
No.
Thank you, Ben.
Okay, regardless. So the premise of these games is that nuclear apocalypse has reigned upon the planet because the U.S. and China were finally like, bro, not cool, and they shot nukes at each other.
You know what a fun fact is? The Fallout Apocalypse takes place in 2077. That's when it happened. And then the new game, Cyberpunk, also takes place in 2077. That's the fun.
They're
little
made by
niche
different companies.
fact. No, I know. It's just a niche fact that they picked the same.
Thank you,
year.
Tom. Ben, continue the story, please.
Sorry.
Yeah, that wasn't a very fun fact, I'll be
Okay.
honest.
Alright, so regardless, yeah, essentially post-apocalyptic nukes just pissed all over the planet, you know, barren wasteland. However, the United States constructed this program and a bunch of secret underground bunkers known as vaults to house the survivors, the future survivors, so they can rebuild America and make sure that patriotism continues in this retro, neo-50s world where women can still get backhanded and cars look kind of cool. Regardless, except every vault was actually a messed up sociological experiment. Yada yada yada.
Or biological.
Or biological.
Or worse. There was some fucked
But
up
yeah,
stuff.
but the concept behind that of like living inside of an enclosed shelter during a fallout apocalypse.
Oh yeah.
That's a cool idea. Like assuming the world comes to that, that's a very convenient
the
way
best
to
place to
survive.
be.
Yeah, that's a convenient way to survive. It's a home. You know, instead of like, you know, trudging out in the wasteland and shooting mutants and giant scorpions and French people. You know.
What? I don't remember
I
French
thought it
people.
was Chinese people.
Oh god.
Well,
I'm just saying, man.
Wait, I
like,
thought-
vaults were a cool idea.
wait, no, I'd heard there was a Chinese weapon in one of the games. Though, do you not get that from them or something? I'm
Oh
just,
no,
wait.
like I mean, in Fallout 3, technically you like, I can't remember if it was like a simulation or no, it was a simulation. They simulated you in the American-China War, and you essentially like pretended to be a miner to get a code.
okay.
Fallout 3 was good. Fallout 3 was arguably the best in the series.
Okay, that's what I.
I
must
don't
have
know
been
about
thinking of
that.
then.
Fallout New Vegas was pretty good.
Okay, well, but New Vegas had Fisto, and you can't beat that character writing. For anybody who doesn't know, Fisto is a saucy robot who uses her fists to.
Fist people.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a
and
sex
it's not
robot.
regular boxing. That's all I'm gonna say. It's good. It's good.
If you think about it, punching is just like the general form of fisting.
Is fisting a specific form of punching,
Exactly, yeah.
or is it a specific
is.
form of something else?
Well, I think we could go a bit more general. There's like hand to body contact, I guess.
Okay.
Which like the closed hand variety is like a specific.
Oh, so
Subset.
there's techniques now. There's closed
It
hand,
depends
open
on-
palm, wave the drunkard,
2-finger.
True.
5-finger death punch.
Gouge
You know, all
the
sorts of the
eyes out.
fisting techniques. Wow. Man. Damn. Sign me up for the black belt.
Too much.
Yeah, and then in the future when they finally invent power fists. Ooh.
See, I don't know if that would actually be good for you because I feel like, okay, unless they design it well so there's not recoil, but I feel like the force
Just
is on
break
your
your arm.
arm would like
No, because like
destroy
if
you.
you have in a glove, right, and you're punching, right, it would first contact regularly, and then after that, some form of piston or something would press forward on the fist
I mean,
to
Newton's
launch.
third law.
Meaning it would also...
There would be less recoil on you and more recoil on the person being hit because it goes
No.
into
Ben,
them.
Newton's
It
third
would
law.
be
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, I
equal.
get that. I get it.
Newton's third law states that between two objects
There's an
one
equal
force.
and opposite force.
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, but it's not like when you punch someone, it's not like people are like, you know, rigid bodies.
So it depends. If you already hit them...
Yeah, if you already have the
and
momentum.
they are moving back slightly,
Yeah.
and then it pushes them further,
Yeah.
then it might not
Sure,
kick
there's
too much.
recoil, but they
then
get
it doesn't
too.
even add too much anyway.
Yeah, but they get it in a sensitive spot. You just get it in your
If
hand.
I'm just saying, if it extended out while you're punching, you're adding extra velocity.
Like imagine, like you
if
nut
it
shot
extends
someone.
out and then
Yeah.
compresses as you like. No,
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 that would slow
that's
it down.
bad,
Actually, that'd be
yeah.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, so I think the only viable way to do this is a full body power suit that it can absorb
Pretty
the shot.
much.
Yeah. And then it has spikes that dig into the ground so that there's no like movement.
I mean,
Yeah.
I can
Or
realistically just hold
if you
you up.
just have, if it's reasonably heavy
I mean,
and you have decent shoes,
All right,
it
for anybody-
should.
at this
keep
point, you
you
might as well
grounded.
build a punching robot. And
Okay,
then
for
you-
anybody listening, all of this stuff is patented. Yeah, don't think about it.
Don't
Okay.
even try.
No,
It's already been built. I'm
for
sorry.
like punching robot. You remember Real Steel?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like
those robots were built
Okay,
to punch.
can we talk about Real Steel?
Yes, we can.
That was a good movie.
That was
Haven't seen it.
Seen it
Alright,
once.
okay, so
I don't know. Okay, Hugh Jackman's performance in it wasn't too great. But it was
Okay, but the concept behind it is cool. Okay,
yeah, the
so
concept behind it.
let me elaborate on Real Steel. Real Steel essentially is in a world where robots now box.
And
In a
humans
world.
do
And
not.
it's because
Wait,
like the
robots.
whole point is like human boxing's too violent and it hurts people, yada yada yada. So why not just take out the
Oh.
human medium and make it robots?
I think I've seen.
So essentially now robots box each other and to the death, etc., whatever. But however, the main character, he essentially finds a robot that was originally a training bot, and he himself was an ex-boxer. Yeah,
His son finds the robot.
or his
in a
son finds a
junkyard.
robot, and then he trains with the robot. Essentially, he was an ex-boxer, and the robot has the ability to mimic his moves. So essentially, he's in the
It's a
ring.
sparring bot. That's
Yeah,
what it
yeah,
was,
he's in the ring fighting, and the robot copies his
He's
moves.
not in the ring. He's outside of the ring.
Okay, well you get what I mean. Stop. Okay. So he's fighting, and the robot copies him. So essentially, he's the one. He's inside the robot. Essentially, he is the robot, and he's just and the other robots are like and they die. And yeah, it's fun. It's a good movie.
Really good underdog story about a robot.
Amazing underdog story.
I liked the ending. I remember the ending really well.
Yeah, the
I
ending
liked
is
it.
It was like a Kung Fu Kid ending. Yeah.
Yeah, like the
Don't.
no.
I mean, it's old. Okay,
It's
yeah,
an
go
old
for it,
movie.
So like the good underdog robot and Hugh Jackman lose. Like that's it. But they won the people's hearts basically. So like the bad
Rocky.
evil robot ends up getting like KO'd.
Yeah, so
but,
it's a Kung Fu Kid story.
Yeah, but
Except
yeah,
they didn't
lost.
break a leg.
The judges believe that the big bot won.
Damn, Jaden Smith though.
Wait, yeah.
Oh, the Jaden Smith Karate
Yeah.
Kid.
Yeah.
The other one was better.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
No, the
Jaden-
Jaden. Yeah, I just prefer.
Modern
pretend-
Jaden Smith, kind of trippy.
He's
Can be
interesting.
Philosopher of our time.
Yeah, philosopher King Jaden Smith.
He has some okay music though.
Okay, I like 2 songs of his. That's it. 2 songs.
I like 3 or 4 maybe.
2
But
songs.
like yeah, there's not many.
He's
A lot
not a
of it's
bad
not
person.
good.
He's just a strange individual with interesting passions and talents. I heard he's gay. I heard specifically he's gay for Tyler the Creator, and if that's the case, I'm kind of surprised. Not by the fact that he's gay, that the fact that he may be dating Tyler the Creator, because I kind of like Tyler.
Tyler gay?
Apparently.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Why? Why would that not be surprising?
I don't know. Seems like the kind of guy to just, be gay.
There are several songs from him singing about having sex with women.
Maybe he's bi. That's okay too.
That is true.
Well, it could be repressed,
Oh,
or could
yeah.
have been,
That could also be true.
That is
and
true.
that's why he also like didn't he say the bad F word?
Yeah, he says it. I think he says it.
Yeah, he said it in a lot of like older songs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the
So,
F
like,
word that's not.
You know
fuck.
that could
That's
yeah
not
yeah
fuck.
yeah that could
One of the
that could've-
connotation of
see
homosexuality.
that could have come from some repression
Yeah, maybe.
or something. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. He has good
Depends.
music. That's what.
I'm not
He
a
does
psychologist.
have some good music.
I'm not a psychologist, but
Oh yeah, I have no idea.
that man may be a homosexual. I'm not sure.
I mean, like
If he is, he is. I think it's interesting. Just
Oh yeah, no, it's so weird. It's such a weird perspective to have, especially when he sings that.
Why did we just laugh there?
What?
Wait, why did we just laugh there?
Ben left it on such a weird note that way. So you got anything else to add on Tyler the Creator being gay, or is that your final statement?
I think
I think
go with
he's
bi.
cool. I like him a lot. That's all I got to say. I recommend him. He has a buck teeth. That's always cool.
He's got a good sense of humor.
Oh
I
yeah.
definitely like that as well.
I like his album names. Goblin's a favorite of mine.
Goblin.
Goblin.
Yeah.
His album's named
You
Goblin.
want to allude to the audience what your background for your computer is?
Goblins.
It's a lot of goblins.
Ben is a goblin.
I'm not a goblin. I'm
You're
a.
a goblin.
He's a bit of a goblin.
What are you talking
I think
about?
Tom's more of a gremlin.
Why am I a gremlin?
Okay.
Gremlins are small.
Can we get an analytical breakdown on this?
Alright, so a goblin is a short, aggressive creature with large nose and ears normally uncivilized and very, 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 usually evil aligned. So, like our French person.
Thank you, local D&D master.
Gremlins are monsters, also short and aggressive, generally always evil aligned, except they're animals essentially. They're not like goblins, which are like sentient. They're animals.
So they're like the monkey version of people for goblins?
No,
Correct.
they're
Very accurate. Very astute.
basically imagine the noise. That's kind of a
goblin.
that would
That's
be
more of a goblin.
That's no.
That's more of a
I feel
goblin.
like that's smaller.
What's a gremlin?
I feel like that's a gremlin. Oh, you
No.
think they're
What's
like
a goblin
that?
then?
Okay. Which one would you be more likely to like encounter in the game Doom?
Probably.
Neither.
Would gremlins be considered demons? That's basically what I'm
Yeah,
asking.
gremlins are probably closer to demons.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they'd be
okay.
closer to
Gremlins,
Well, 'cause
demons have gremlin energy.
Yeah, okay.
That's fair. But you know who else has gremlin energy
Who
here?
has gremlins?
Tom.
Tom.
I don't have gremlin.
Yeah, you
You have
little.
gremlin.
Okay, what do gremlins do?
What do you do?
That's honest. What do gremlins do normally?
Sitting there.
You're the judge.
They hide in
sit
their
in their little,
holes.
still in their little holes and wait for someone to come out and they ambush them and start eating their flesh. Kind of.
I don't sit in a little hole. I don't ambush people, and I don't eat their flesh.
You sit in a hole. You definitely ambush people. You may not eat their flesh, but you definitely like
You
chew their
metaphorically.
ear. You chew their ear off.
Exactly.
Well, guys, I'm a gremlin. Thank you very much.
Thank you for finally admitting.
All right, which D&D character would everyone be here?
I don't know. That's a very
Wait, well,
that's like the whole point of
You mean like
D&D
race
is you make
or-
your own
Yeah.
dumb
Yeah,
character.
but Ben,
No,
you
I-
have to assign it to us. Okay,
Yeah.
so we've agreed. I'm a gremlin.
Okay, you're a gremlin and you're probably gonna get killed.
Oh my God,
Unfortunate
screw up.
accident. I don't
Fine.
know.
Let's go with Baz. What is Baz?
Seal.
What am I?
You're a goblin.
I'm
You
a
got
goblin.
You got goblin.
Why is he a goblin?
Because he's French. So that automatically places him at an evil alignment. You are not exceptionally tall. Well, you're not extremely short. You're not exceptionally tall. So that already places you at a disadvantage to be anything tall.
Sad.
I feel like you're gonna steal my soul or some material object from me, and that.
Some gold.
See, did you? Everybody heard that? That came from him. Gremlin, goblin, grody.
All right. I see your point, but what about James?
James, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
Probably a wizard or something.
A wizard.
Yeah,
is
this
there?
man-
Level 30 wizard.
I don't know. He's a
Wait,
wizard.
give me the breakdown. What is a wizard and how is he different from like?
See,
All
a
right,
wizard is
okay.
other
Why are
magical
we?
things.
Okay, fine. You want me to nerd out? Okay, let's do this. All right. So there are several different magic classes. There is
here we
a
go.
cleric. There is a warlock. There is a sorcerer. There is a wizard, and there is a paladin. Clerics and paladins derive their power from divine sources. So, for example, if I prayed to Mormon Jesus, and he gave me special powers, I'd be either a cleric or a paladin, because Lord and Savior, be my shield. I don't know. Thank you, Jesus. Okay, so
I feel like
warlocks.
Mormon Jesus.
Warlocks
would probably be a paladin
derive.
kind of guy.
What?
Mormon Jesus would probably be a paladin kind of deity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So warlocks derive their power from evil sources. For example, Tom, since he's part of the Satanic Church,
What?
is a warlock.
Well, hang on. Satan is not inherently evil.
Okay, sorry, Tom, since he's part of the Pastafarian Church, is inherently a warlock.
Disclaimer: we do not believe the Pastafarian Church is actually evil.
They're pretty chill people.
I love having pastables in my head.
What about Sean? Okay, so
All right, no, I'm not done.
He's
not done.
Sorcerers are
Okay.
born with magic. They just are so talented. They were part of the gifted program in their
Harry
elementary
Potter.
school, and they were told from a young age that they're so special and
I
cool.
feel like you're attacking somebody.
I'm not attacking anybody.
Okay.
Wizards
Okay.
sit down and for years learn information until they can finally spells. They can
Do you know what the
know.
slang definition is in culture for a wizard?
what?
Someone who's been a virgin for 30 years.
Oh, well, fine then.
Oh.
Wait,
I'm
was
not
James
gonna
a
say
wizard
he's
or a
wrong,
sorcerer?
See, the thing is, when you hit level 30, you
There's
can turn
nothing
into a
wrong
wizard
with
class.
multi-classing, people. There is no problem with that. Okay, there you go.
So you got James.
Well, you
down,
gotta do Sean.
Yeah, wait, what am I?
Okay, so there are several fighter classes.
Fighter?
Notably Barbarian,
Wow.
and then
okay.
Fighter,
That's
and
okay.
then Monk.
Okay.
Why is he a fighter class?
I don't know, he didn't look at him, he lifts. He lifts.
He lifts.
He
Sean
lifts.
is
Pumps
pretty
that
ripped.
iron.
He lifts.
I lift as well.
Yeah,
Okay,
he-
but like
he-
Sean is balanced.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
ripped.
he is balanced.
And he goes to
Tom-
the gym more than once a month.
does chest, and that's it.
Yeah, Tom does chest exclusively.
I
Great
have
at bench. Can't do anything else.
Okay.
But yeah, so there's fighter
So
classes.
I'd be a fighter. Okay.
Fighter
Okay.
or barbarian. I know.
Barbarian.
Got a little bit more finesse than that.
I'd like to think I
Give
did.
him a
true.
fighter. The most stereotypical class.
Okay.
That caffeine is actually hitting
And
me really
lauded
hard right
with-
now.
I don't claim to be a professional D&D guy, but if I know. But however, something that I do know specifically is that lauded within the D&D community, considered one of the most useless classes. No offense to anybody who plays them, is Ranger.
What do they do?
That's you, Tom.
What?
You are useless. You are incompetent, and you are helpless.
All right.
He's a gremlin ranger, not even sentient.
Rangers just stand from the sidelines, and they're like, you know, shooting their little toy bow, and then they're like, oh look, I saw a squirrel. I can talk to a squirrel, and then that's all they do while everybody else can, you know, shoot bolts of lightning and summon gods and dragons and lasers with dragons and dragons with lasers.
Well, except for Tom, it's not a squirrel. It's like a little circuit board.
With some
He just
I
looks
can
at
talk to computers.
They don't
Who's
listen
a
to
real
me, though.
wizard? There, are you happy? Is everyone happy?
I'm
You know-
very happy actually.
That
I'm
was
glad.
Congrats.
I'm glad
You've
I got
exposed a
called a
local nerd in the chat.
I think I want to go home.
Wow.
The door's locked. You're not allowed to.
Oh my god.
You're stuck here forever.
But yeah, so that's essentially the whole shindig of classes.
It sounds kind of fun though.
Maybe some other day we can go into other parts of it, but not right now because there's
Yeah.
too much
We can move on to
neckbeard
something
energy
else,
in this
yeah.
room.
Play a D&D game.
My neck is shaved.
One hair.
One hair.
That's a gross.
Well,
ass
see, I
thing.
have a lot of short ones.
All right, facial hair. Dude, facial hair is a challenge for so many
Young
people.
man.
Unless you happen to be Middle Eastern, but then it's still, or like, that's still a challenge.
That's still a challenge.
Look, Ben,
Like
we're Middle
real
Eastern,
Middle-
and we end up
No.
having like pedophiles.
No, like
I heard from
real Middle
yeah,
Eastern.
I heard from my dad. It took him until he was 22 to finally actually grow a beard.
It's just it's
Like,
just a
but it wasn't
challenge.
even a really good one. It was
Yeah.
like just one that looked like pretty good. Like that's when you could
Like,
finally get one.
To get a good beard, you have to have black or brown hair. You have to
Yeah.
have pretty consistent growth across
Yeah.
your cheeks, which is the hard part.
Uh-huh.
And it has to like cut off at a certain point on your neck. Other than
Or you
that,
have to shave
you have
it.
somehow failed as a man trying to grow a beard. Okay.
Unless you're a heavy gamer, then you have to grow that full on.
Yeah,
hair.
the neck
Then you
pillow.
If you don't have the neck pillow, you are not a gamer.
That's
Gamers rise
gross.
up.
I don't know. See, as an Asian man, I think it's I mean, like, how many Asians do you see with beards where you think that's a nice beard?
Zero.
When they're older and they have
Yeah,
like,
like the
the
kung-
Oh
the-
yeah.
The feng shui kung fu masters.
Fu
Oh,
Manchu.
Fu Manchu. That's the
Yeah.
one.
I could see that.
But like that.
But I'm
that's,
also
like, when
18
you're
years old.
Yeah, no. If you're
Yeah,
so old,
no.
you have to be old.
That's
to do
like
that.
that's later in life. You're gonna be like the grandfather with the Fu Manchu.
Have I
Delicious.
seen an Asian man with a good beard? I can't recall. I apologize.
Yeah, it's not giving me hope. But I don't know. My family has a history of baldness and gray hair early, so I can
Oh
achieve
my.
my kung fu master look.
Me and
Hopefully
Tom,
by the time I'm 45.
Yeah.
me and
I might
Tom had an
have to
uncle
do
who
that
had
as well.
salt and pepper by the time he was 36.
Our dad was like completely white hair by like.
Yeah, by the time he was like 37, 30.
Yeah,
That's
Ben-
kind of
no.
cool though.
No, Ben and I already have white hairs coming out. Like, if I look in the mirror, I can see like a couple sometimes.
I think
and it's
that's
just
kind of
crazy.
cool to be honest.
But you guys are like 50 already, so like.
I'm 50.
Well, actually, so I read a study on why. I didn't read the study. I read the abstract and I read the news article. On the study.
The TLDR.
Yes, that it showed. It was a fairly sizable study that stress actually increases white hair generation.
Okay, we
that
all
makes
knew
sense.
that.
I
We
mean, did you
all
see
knew that.
Obama after his first term in office?
Oh gosh.
Oh,
he
poor
started graying. Yeah.
Yeah, well, lesson learned.
Don't become president.
I mean,
Donald Trump, if
Hey.
you're listening.
Wait. Just a weird short question. If for some weird reason you were offered like to just become president for 4 years,
Which I could not.
Just
be.
no,
Half of the
I'm not.
most of the people in this room cannot.
No. I'm saying like just if for
Exception?
whatever reason.
Hypothetically.
However, they were like, would you be president for 4 years?
Yeah. Okay.
And if you accept, you're just in and you do it. Do you think you could do it? Or would you just not?
I would not. I don't think.
I don't want to deal with
I don't
the
wanna deal with
scrutiny.
that.
I probably could if I like surrounded myself with the right people who could like.
But do
teach
you
me,
know any
But
good
I don't
people?
think I.
No.
I don't
want
think you
to.
could trust them. That's the only issue.
That's
Because,
true.
I mean, taking our age into account, that also makes it worse because they're all older and, like,
Yeah.
that'd make it harder. But, you know.
But I definitely don't want to be president. That'd be the worst job for me.
I don't know. I think I could potentially not be the worst president.
Ladies
would
and
like to
gentlemen,
think so.
James 2020.
James 2024. Actually, no. When are you
when
going
am
to
I
be
eligible?
35?
I might run against you.
Oh yeah, you have to be 35. huh?
35. So.
I turned 35 in 2036.
So all right.
James 2036.
Yeah, no, that you can run.
Is
That's
that
every
a-
4 years?
well,
yeah, every 4
4
years.
times 9, brother.
Dude, I didn't do the math.
If
I
it's
mean,
divisible by 4,
you know,
you're
like-
gonna get a new president.
Thank you, Tom. What if? Yeah.
That's-
Okay.
If it's divisible by 2, half of the times will be a new president.
So 50%.
Yeah,
thanks-
but
thanks for the
it
math
means new
there.
senators.
I'd like to think I wouldn't fuck everything up if I did.
See, if you don't change anything, I feel like things just go on as planned, right?
I think
I would alter some things slightly
Yeah, but-
that I think need tweaking, but I would not do anything extreme.
Yeah, because you don't know shit. So like you don't.
Yeah, no,
fuck-
I don't know enough about economics. to
Edict
make any-
number 1. Everyone must become a gamer. Edict number 2. If you beat me in a video game, you're cheating and should be arrested. Edict number 3. Loot boxes are free for me and me alone.
Wait, could you imagine like you're playing online, and you're there's a guy on the other team who's like top of the leaderboard, and his name is just Prez OUS, and like you just start killing him over and over, and you're just digging on him. 10 minutes later,
open up.
the FBI roll up to your house. There's a helicopter, and they're just like, FBI, get out of the house.
There's like 6 red dots on you, even though there's no windows in your room.
SEAL Team 6 has infiltrated your house, and they're
There's
surrounded.
like
Yeah,
one in your laundry basket.
There's one under your desk just pointing a gun at you.
Like you got like one in your closet, one in your laundry basket, like just underneath all the piles of dirty laundry, and you got like one right underneath your desk. It's fucking.
You can hear
amazing.
someone whispering to you, if he gets under the KD of 1, I'm shooting you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, is it? There's not only isn't it Delta Force?
Yeah,
Isn't that like
they respond to
another
the president.
big like presidential like utility
Yeah,
item?
so Delta Force is a special forces unit that is from, I believe, the Army branch of the military, and they respond like pretty much directly to the president. Like obviously they probably have some generals there too,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
the president has like
The presidential kill squad, if you will.
pretty much, yeah.
I mean, I think the SEALs have really taken over that, though.
There's a
But the SEALs are under the Navy, right?
Yes,
So
but they
it's-
are only second to the most elite squad in the universe, the Secret Hamster Squad that they made a movie about that one time.
G-Force. That movie was
G-Force.
banger. Holy
Oh, that's
shit.
G-Force.
Wait,
Wow.
what?
That's a horror.
There's a-
Oh,
Ben,
God.
please. Ben,
Okay,
please.
there was a
Alright,
movie
here we go.
about
Another movie.
secret spy hamsters
That could talk.
What?
that could talk, and they did secret spy hamster stuff to save the world.
They saved the world, though.
Or gerbils, they're either hamster. I don't care.
G-Force. Gerbils.
Okay, thank you, Tom.
Or no, guinea pigs.
Uh,
Guinea pigs.
They were guinea pigs. Yeah.
G-Force,
How the
Gamster.
fuck do they fund these movies?
I don't know.
I
How
don't
did
know.
they come up with
It was
these?
actually a pretty.
Here's
okay
the
movie.
thing.
You know
It was
Cats?
semi-entertaining.
Cats had a
Oh,
budget of
God.
almost $100
Oh,
million.
God.
The movie Cat.
It was a disaster.
And
Didn't it get like 2 million back or something?
Yeah.
And it has a good Rotten Tomato score. That's what I don't like.
Wait, what?
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
because-
like decent.
All right,
Trust Ron.
It's
Here.
because they paid.
hey
Yeah.
viewers, Rotten Tomatoes is the
Rotten.
most politically correct, disgusting, inaccurate site for movie ratings. If you want a good movie ratings, check regular Google audience
Yeah.
score, check IMDb, check anything else but Rotten Tomatoes.
I mean, I think everyone knows that by now.
IMDb is actually owned by Amazon. I didn't know that.
Jeff, my buddy Jeff.
Good old Jeff.
Fun fact.
Also, don't
Doing
don't
cocaine
watch,
with all his money.
don't watch the Oscars if you want to find good movies that people enjoy. I watched a movie
Oh.
that was nominated for the Oscars called Parasite, and people actually liked it.
The
It was-
Korean movie?
It was
It's good.
It was the creepiest movie
That's
ever.
that's
That
why.
doesn't mean it's
I
bad.
usually-
no.
It was
Parasite.
so weird.
Where's
Parasite-
Parasite?
Okay, so Parasite is one of the. It's not the first, but it's one of the most recent large AAA titles created out of Korea.
Mm-hmm.
It's a horror movie. So I
AAA?
personally, as someone who has watched several Korean movies, random ones, they're pretty good. Like, if anybody's listening and is a connoisseur, Wong Kar-wai movies, great movies. Parasite is supposed to be a really
Doesn't
good
like
movie.
K-pop, likes Korean.
Have you
movies.
seen it or
Yeah,
not?
I haven't seen it, but I
Okay.
want to find a way
What is
to
it
acquire
about?
the
So,
movie.
okay, people actually liked it, and I thought it was really weird. So the concept is there's this really rich family, and they have a bunch of personnel around
Don't
the
spoil
house.
it. Don't spoil it. Spoil
Oh
it.
shit!
I really want to watch it.
All right.
I really
Well,
watch
it's kind of hard to not spoil it.
Yeah,
Okay.
just
Alright,
get
that's-
that.
Because if I describe the story without spoiling
Is
it,
there
it's
a
not gonna
general
sound
concept you can hand down to us? At
Yeah.
least
Yeah,
like a
okay,
takeaway?
so-
why was it so
the
creepy?
beginning, I can't tell you why it's creepy
Okay.
because that'll spoil it. But the beginning, it's like this poor family that deceives this rich family, and somehow the entire poor family starts working for that rich family, but the rich family doesn't know they're all related. So they have like 5 people that are working in their house that are all related from the same family, but they don't know that they're related.
Okay.
And they're all like, so one gets hired, they're like, oh, I have this good recommendation of a friend. And
Oh, so
then
it doesn't actually deal with actual parasites?
So-
No, but that comes later, and I can't spoil it. 'Cause
Oh,
then
okay,
I'll be
okay,
upset.
okay. Thank you. I appreciate that greatly. I am going to find a way to watch it, and then we're gonna all watch it and get freaked out.
I don't want to watch it again.
I'm not a fan
Too
of
bad.
horror movies or creepy movies.
I love horror movies. Horror movies are great.
I personally do not like horror
Why don't you
movies.
guys
It's
like
not
horror
really.
movies?
It's not really
Okay,
a horror
okay.
movie.
I
It's
will
just
play
creepy.
horror games with the lights turned off in my room. However, I hate horror movies.
All right,
horror
can-
movies, I have no control.
Because that's the whole point.
I like horror games because then I also don't have control, but I feel like I have control.
Let's establish something. Horror movies are the safest way to get an adrenaline shock. 100%.
They don't scare me.
Even if they don't scare you at all, then that's a shame. They're boring. But if you do get scared by them, horror movies are the safest way to get an adrenaline shot.
Wreck. What? You remember Wreck? That random Spanish
Wreck,
movie?
Wreck
show?
is a good
Oh
Spanish
my
movie.
God.
Wreck 2 is bad, but Wreck original is really good, well filmed, under $300,000 budget. Really cheap for a movie of that quality.
That was. Oh my god.
Yeah, I saw parts of that. It was good.
They filmed that whole movie on one camera.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right.
That movie. Jesus.
I don't know. I feel like just going to Six Flags could be also a good way to get an adrenaline shot.
True.
Drop towers are my
But
favorite
every time
rides.
you go on a roller coaster, there's a chance you might die.
Yeah, but it's still pretty safe.
I mean, if you.
Not as safe as watching a horror movie.
I don't know. If you have enough cholesterol in your system, it just about evens out.
What?
If you have enough cholesterol in your system, it just about
Oh.
evens out.
No, I still think the compound chance of dying is increased on a roller coaster because you can either go flying or have a heart attack on a roller coaster. You can just have a heart attack watching a horror movie.
For me, with horror movies, it's like, it's I feel like, and also with horror games, it's these kind of supernatural forces or forces and things that I could not really comprehend. Don't. I mean, like they make sense, but they don't kind of mesh with my understanding of the world, and that honestly like freaks me out more than what's actually like jump scares or creepy environment.
No, because like,
Fear of the unknown is the biggest fear.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
a good horror game, in my opinion, is one that doesn't have like enemies following you. It's one that screws with you mentally.
Yes, yes.
Those are the best kind of horror.
Those scare you.
Have you guys seen Blair Witch?
Yes.
The movie? No.
Yes.
Okay, so I've seen the original Blair Witch. It's a pretty good movie. The scare doesn't come from like regular concepts. The scare is the whole point is the fear of the unknown. You don't know what's going on, and neither do the characters of the movie. So the cool thing about Blair Witch is how they filmed it. The people in Blair Witch, if you guys are okay with me elaborating.
Yeah, no,
on this.
absolutely.
Okay. So essentially, it's 3 people. They went into a forest to go hunt down and record the Blair Witch for a school project. It's like a local folk legend, so they went to the forest and did that.
Mm-hmm.
The whole principle behind it is, when they filmed it, is they were actually in the woods. They were camping in the woods. The directors left them food at certain points, and they were supposed to and instructions on what to do and how to act each day as they filmed it.
Oh my god, that is.
And it was up to them to film it. However, so on top of acting while they were doing it, the directors left less and less food each day at each of the checkpoints to get them irritated with each other. And the directions became more and more hazy and unclear to get all the actors confused and scared. By the end, you were watching their legitimate reactions.
Oh my god.
Because by the time they get into the last situation, which is like a broken down, run down house, they have no clue what's going on and they're legitimately scared because they don't know where they are. It was
I would quit,
genius
dude.
filming.
I would quit.
It's like
It's kind of hard to quit when you're in the middle of the woods.
No, absolutely, but Jesus Christ, dude.
It's like how like Kubrick in what's his
The Shining.
yeah, The Shining, how he essentially drove that actress insane.
Yeah, to do that one scene, was it like 400 times?
Yeah.
Jesus.
It worked. You got a legitimate insanity reaction just because of that. It's insane what some horror people drive the actors to do to get that reaction.
Doesn't the Blair Witch Project, they go down from 3 to 2, and then on the last part someone's getting eaten alive or something while the other guy's in the corner?
No, what happens is one night they do lose some guy. He just gets
They get their teeth back.
they get his teeth back in a bag, and they're like, they're
Imagine,
freaking out.
for him it must have been nice. Nice, I'm out of the film.
Yeah, the other two are
Oh
like,
no, they actually killed him. So.
yeah, those are
It's method
those
filming.
are his teeth.
Method filming.
Yeah, method filming. And then so they're told to go to this house, and what happens is, this is legitimately the oh shit part for one of them. One of them gets pulled out at the end. He goes into the basement, and essentially there's a loud clunk, and pretends to be gone. And the last person, he's upstairs. He's 2 floors above. He keeps calling for the other person, and they're not responding, and he's kind of losing his shit.
Oh god. And then this just ends on that?
And then it shows him through the perspective of the camera going into the basement, clunk, and the camera drops.
Nice.
And then it ends.
Damn.
Because it's supposed to be a lost tape, and when they release a movie, they released it on online websites first as a sort of lost tape. So it was the first essential lost tape movie, and they tried to push it as real.
Oh my god.
Insane.
What a lot of the what was it? The one with the it was just a spare camera, and then they were filming a possession poltergeist film.
I'm not
It
sure.
was $20,000 budget.
It would have been what were
Oh.
those called? There were a bunch of them.
Paranormal
Paranormal Activity.
Paranormal Activity. There was one of them that was just filmed with a budget of $20,000, and they made back so much. I forgot which one it was. I think it was the original.
I mean,
The
there's
first one was the lowest budget, I believe, and it did pretty well.
I mean, I think it's a genre that's kind of coming along.
It really
Yeah.
is, yeah.
There was a good
it
one.
came out a long time ago, but yeah, it's
There was a
done.
good one
It's
recently set in Seattle, actually.
Elaborate.
Oh no.
I can't remember the name for the life of me. The plot's basically these kids discover that they have supernatural powers. One guy's got telekinesis.
Is that really how did he lost tape then?
So what he does, the kid's got telekinesis, goes crazy,
Yeah.
and he telekinesis a camera around behind him, filming himself to kind of create this propaganda tape.
Yeah.
But in minor spoilers, I don't really remember what happens, but essentially he wreaks havoc in the city, gets police call, and they eventually get him, they trap him, and then the theory is that the movie is the footage from the camera that he was carrying around that's released. It's more psychological than found footage horror, but it's well done.
So it's a found
interesting.
footage from the perspective of the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's very
But
interesting.
some of the things they did is they have some shots from security cameras mixed in. In the security camera shots, you'll see him, and you'll see the floating camera kind of coming behind him, which is cool.
That's
and
really
lovely.
interesting, man.
So is he just popping skulls with the telekinesis and stuff like that?
It's more like he's fucking with people. He's he'll walk into a store, and they'll be like floating camera, and then like their stuff starts floating, and then it attacks them and kills them. But like,
Oh god, this kid is a murderer. Jesus.
he is
Did
like
he
a
kill his
fucked
two
up guy.
friends?
Yes, and his
Yeah,
father.
figured. And it, oh
Wow.
Wow, daddy issues.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, daddy.
Daddy wasn't there. Take me to the fair.
Oh yeah.
What was that?
What was that song? Damn. Daddy was. Oh, it's from Austin Powers.
Yeah.
Daddy
Great movie.
wasn't there.
I know this was turned into basically no
Take
movie
me
review,
to
but
the
Austin
fair.
Powers, great.
Austin
great
Powers is
movie.
a good movie.
I haven't seen it.
What?
I have not seen it,
All right, because you're French.
It's like James Bond, but
but fake.
dumb.
Yeah, but fake and dumb.
It's funny.
It's a parody.
It's pretty funny.
It's like somebody with a gold penis.
Yeah,
Does that convey the
Alright,
idea?
yeah, that's enough context.
Yeah, Gold Member. It was called.
Alright, gold member. I think that's a fine place to leave this episode.
Yeah, I'm okay with this.
Remember, everybody.
Like and subscribe. Hit the bell button.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say you're all first place winners and deserve a gold member.
If you're actually still listening to this right now, awesome for you. Thank you. I mean, I appreciate it, honestly.
Yeah.
That's
thank
pretty
you.
impressive.
I've looked at the stats, and that's about one person you're talking to right
Yeah,
now.
exactly.
Well,
So,
that one
you know,
person earned this. Thank you.
whoever's still
Thank you.
here,
Joe.
you're awesome.
Joe, we love you.
Anyone who's listening to
What
this
his
right
name
now,
is?
you're absolutely awesome.
His name is Joe.
Reginald.
Reginald.
But Joe is short for Reginald. Reginald.
Reginald.
Joe, no.
Archibald.
Archibald Henry
Archibald.
Lee the First of Essex. Good night.